How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and today I've got another PSA return video for you. This is a $15 special. I sent this off in early October. This came back in about 2 months, which is pretty crazy. Really excited to be getting things back quickly from PSA, even though we're paying a little bit more now than we were before all of the COVID craziness. We're getting things back quicker, which is always super exciting. So PSA doesn't send things back in order anymore, which is a little annoying, but I've gone through and I've split this submission up by eras. We've got, with a couple random cards here and there, we've got E series, we've got EX series, we've got Level X, Diamond and Pearl era, we've got Black, White, and Modern XY on. So without any further ado, let's crack into it. Let's see all of the awesome cards that I sent off and are now finally back from PSA. Or not really finally, are quickly back from PSA. So one English card in this submission. As you can see, it is not in the best condition and it did not receive the best grade, but I was expecting this. A PSA 6 Flareon Gold Star from EX Power Keepers. If you're going to be grading any card in lower condition, a Gold Star is certainly a great one to go after. So really, really happy with this. I picked this up from a friend for pretty cheap. And yeah, really happy to get a, 6 on this is still a pretty respectable grade, especially given the condition. I was expecting it to go a little bit lower, maybe 4 or 5 or something. But 6, still a wonderful grade on that. All right, now into a bunch of Japanese E-Series cards. This submission was really good to me. We got really high grades on a lot of stuff, definitely a lot in that 9-10 range. Outside of the 6, I think I only got 3 cards that were below a 9. So that's really exciting. But the sort of trade-off from that is that I did get a lot of 9s. So we got a mint 9 on this Togetic. I think I was expecting a 9 on this. Just had some edge wear here and there. But yeah, so kind of a theme that I'm going to hit on this submission is that 9-10 line and how it can be pretty challenging to kind of do what I find is find some consistency. So a near mint 7 on this Raichu, whenever I see a near mint 7 on a card, I think it's usually because some kind of minor impression on the card, not a crease, but I think I spotted it just right there. It is pretty hard to see. And yeah, it's not something that I would pick up myself when I'm pre-rating these cards, unless I looked at every card, ridiculously closely. But PSA catches it. They are the professionals for a reason, and a near mint 7 on this Raichu is certainly a fair grade in that case. All right, next up, Gem Mint 10, the first 10 of this submission, a Victory Bell Holo from Wind from the Sea. Really, really nice to score these 10s on Japanese E-Series cards. These are getting a lot harder to find, especially in mint condition. I feel like a lot of older Japanese is becoming much harder to find. In strong condition, prices are going up. I feel like for English, prices have pretty much stabilized, but for Japanese, there is still a lot of volatility, especially in the modern market. But the vintage market as well is certainly not dying out. Got another 10 here. Amazing Atsuga Nishida art. Beautiful, beautiful Ninetales from Expedition. Really, really happy with this. First edition, Gem Mint 10. That is what we love to see. All right, next up here, Mint 9 on the Slowking, another Wind from the Sea card. This had a print line, as you can see there, right under the P and HP. So I was expecting a 9 on this card. But yeah, pretty nice there. Next up, Mint 9 on the Sudowoodo, another Wind from the Sea card. And this is going to start a theme in some of my submissions or in some of these cards where I'm really not sure why this scored a 9. Looks really, really clean. Can't see any hollow scratches or anything that would knock this card down. Centering is on point. And there's a couple of cards like this, especially as I go through some of the later 9s that I have, where it's like, all right, the condition, you know, being the same on this as opposed to some of the other 9s, the actual card condition is, you can very much see a difference, but the grade is the same, so it's a little challenging. Another 9 on the Scizor. I was really hoping that this would get a 10. Really clean. Didn't see any hollow scratches or any other kind of damage on this. Sometimes you just have to try again with PSA, resubmit. I don't think there's anything wrong with resubmitting, you know, once or twice or something. It becomes an issue when you just endlessly crack and resubmit, when you're really just hoping that, you know, a card isn't a 10 or it isn't the grade you want, and you're just hoping to find a grader who's going to overlook something. Here's a beautiful card. I'm so happy about this. Gem Mint 10 Steelix Hollow Wind from the Sea. Truly beautiful. Look at that amazing Hajime Kusahima art. Fantastic. We even got a swirl right next to Steelix. Fantastic. Yeah, so really excited about this submission. This really, especially with level X cards, once I get into the level X cards. Mint 9 on the Ampharos, and I think is there another? Yeah, so we got 2 Mint 9 Ampharos Hollows. Shoutouts to my good friend Dizzle, big Gen 2 fan. Yeah, so we got 2 of the Mint 9 on the Ampharos. But yeah, this submission really closed a lot of holes for me in my collection, which was nice. Really happy to see that. And last but not least, for the E-Series cards, we got a Mint 9 Rapidash from Expedition. So really nice on that. Got a couple 10s in the E-Series. I was hoping for a few more. But, you know, that 9-10 line is pretty challenging. You know, it's very hard to, you know, pick a card and say, oh, this is a perfect 10, this is a, you know, clear 9. Lines are blurred, especially on the on this in professional grading. There's a lot of subjectivity that people don't necessarily like to acknowledge. So next up, got a Mint 9 on the Flygon EX, moving into the EX series now. I think this had just a tiny little thing in the corner. Yeah, you can just see that. So certainly understand a 9 on this card. Next up here, Gem Mint 10 on the Electabuzz. That is fantastic. Always love to see 10s on Japanese EX series cards. I buy them a lot, I submit them a lot, and I have a lot of extra 10s, which is great for trading, which is great for selling off to fund other collection purchases, but always love getting in some extra EX series 10s. All right, next card up here, Mint 9 on the Altaria EX. It's another one where it's like, where's the thing that knocked this down from a 10 to a 9? A little challenging to see. I think the centering's fine on this. And yeah, there are, you know, a few cards like that in this submission, but you know, I did get a lot of really awesome 10s, so I'm not complaining too much. Just a few that, you know, maybe I'll send that back in again. Maybe I don't fully agree with that grade. But it's not all in one direction. I'll show you some cards coming up where I think PSA overgraded the card. You know, we talked about that with the Flareon Gold Star. I probably would not have given that a 6. So there are some other cards that, you know, scored higher than I thought they would. Mint 9 on the Typhlosion from Dragon Frontiers. The centering on this is a little bit off, as is everything in Dragon Frontiers. So certainly understandable why this card comes back with a 9. Hoping for a 10 on it, but, you know, you can't win them all. Next up, Gem Mint 10 on the Magcargo EX, Rulers of the Heavens. Love to see that. Not a really crazy Japanese EX card in a 10, just another Magcargo, but certainly fine with that. Never turned down a 2003 card from 2003 in Gem Mint condition. That is fantastic to see. Moving on here, next card up, Mint 9 on the Milotic EX from the Water Quick Construction Starter Packs. I think, yeah, just like the tiniest little things. Can kind of understand why this got a 9. Centering looks to be a tiny bit off as well. But it's another one where, you know, I've seen worse 10s, so it's, you know. Next up, check that out. Spend a little bit of time on this card. That is incredible. Arcanine EX, first edition from Mirage Forest. Certainly a card that I could have gotten upcharged on. Kind of funny that for the longest time I could not find a duplicate copy, an extra copy of Arcanine EX, but just in the last couple months, I've thankfully been able to acquire 2 additional PSA 10s of this card, you know, in addition to the one that I already had in my collection. So really, really exciting. I love this card. I think it is one of the best cards from the Mirage Forest or EX Legend Maker set. And yeah, really, really happy about it. Do need to get one in English still. That is a hole in my collection. So, all right, next up, another Gem Mint 10, Aggron EX Miracle of the Desert, ADV era EX card. Really, really nice. Beautiful Hikaru Koike art, very distinctive, especially on these early EX cards. Yeah, you could really tell which one was Koike artistry. All right, next up, Mint 9 on the Aerodactyl EX. Maybe the centering cost this one a little bit. Yeah, can't really see anything on the back, but centering certainly can be an issue on these cards. Maybe that contributed to the Mint 9 grade there. Next up, another Mint 9, this on the Walrein EX. I love the hollow pattern on this. You can kind of see that Walrein's tusks there also have a little bit of hollow, which is just fantastic. These old EX cards are so beautiful, so exciting. I'm really excited about the new EX era with Scarlet and Violet, and how they're kind of going back to some of the things that they did previously, with like the kind of wavy distinction between the Pokemon name and the HP. They've got the kind of circle evolution box back. They've got a 2-tone card design again, so it's really exciting to see not only them going back to the sort of EX archetype, the EX mechanic, but also kind of some stuff from the old EX era with regular card design. So really excited to see that. Looking forward to collecting the brand new Scarlet and Violet sets. All right, we got Metagross EX here. Really, really nice. Mint 9. Again, you know, I'm always hoping for 10s on these, but 9s are really respectable grades. It is very challenging to find these cards in mint condition. Mint 9 on the Golem EX for Magma vs. Aqua. Exciting to get that card in a strong grade. Gem Mint 10 on the Chansey EX from Expansion Pack. Always love this card. So cute, little smile from Chansey there. I love the green background. That's really something that was kind of unique about these EX cards. You know, you can kind of see Chansey is standing in a field of grass there. But, you know, it kind of all blends together into green. I wish there was a little bit more distinction that you could tell Chansey was standing in a field unless you looked at its little feet there. But really, really nice. Gem Mint 10. Always a huge fan of those. Next up, Mint 9 on this Kingdra Holo. I think centering was a problem on this. As you can see, it is a little bit off from left to right, but still a beautiful, beautiful card. Beautiful Masakazu Fukuda art there. So Mint 9 on that. We will take that. Next up, oof. I am so excited about this. Gem Mint 10 on the Snorlax Holo from EX Dragon Frontiers in Japanese. As I mentioned previously with the Typhlosion, it is really challenging to find these cards well-centered. Even this one is a little bit off, but still within those bounds for a PSA 10. Amazing Masakazu Fukuda art there. And I am slowly, very slowly picking up the Dragon Frontiers Delta Species Hollows in PSA 10. This is a very challenging set. I only know of one other person, my good friend Swolepoke, who has completed the Dragon Frontiers holographic set in PSA 10. All right, next up here, Mint 9 on the Deoxys Holo from Holon Phantoms. Was hoping for a 10 on this. Not really sure what brought it down. Yeah, maybe centering. Can't really see anything else. Centering looks good to me. Yeah, this is probably another one where it's like, I'm not really sure why that got the 9 as opposed to the 10 grade. So maybe another candidate for resubmission at some point, but we'll see. Check that out. Gem Mint 10 on the Kabutops EX. Love that. Rubio Ueda, beautiful art. Another prolific artist within the old EX era and the kind of newer Capital EX era for full arts. So would love to see Ryu Ueda make a comeback in the Scarlet and Violet EX era. But love that 10 on the Kabutops. Next up, Near Mint to Mint 8 on the Latias. Not really sure why this scored an 8. Yeah. Maybe there was like some hollow scratch or something that I missed, but I'll have to take a look off camera. I thought this was very clean. Yeah, not really sure what's going on with this one. But we move on. Just 2 cards left for this era. Mint 9 on the Tyranitar EX from the Shockwave Constructed Starter Deck. Yeah, not really sure on this either. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong with it. Might resubmit it. Yeah, 9 on that. Kind of, not really sure. All right, next up, final card from the EX era, PSA 8, Flygon from World Champions Pack. Does have some issues. I can see a little bit of edge wear along the top, but yeah. Remember what this 8 looks like, and then I'll show you a 9 later in this submission, and it'll be a little interesting to see. All right, next up we have Level X cards. I'm really excited about this. This was probably the strongest part of the submission for me, and this is where we get into knocking off a lot of holes in my collection, which is amazing. So I am going for a full PSA 10 Japanese set-based Level X set. So I figured with this submission, I'd get out almost all the Level X's that I still had lying around to grade. And I did really well on a lot of the ones that I needed, which was fantastic. So here we go. First up, Hippowdon Level X PSA 10. I needed this card. I had graded it multiple times, and every time it had come back with a 9. So really happy to grab a PSA 10 on this Hippowdon, a needed card for the collection. So super happy about that. All right, next up here, Gem Mint 10 on the Dialga Special Pack Level X. It's a promo card. Not one that I would consider part of the Level X set, as you couldn't open it from a pack. You had to get it as a promo. But I still pick up these kind of promo special release Level X's whenever I can. And certainly enjoy having them in beautiful PSA 10 condition, which is awesome. So very happy with that one there. Next up here, Mint 9 on the Uxie Level X. Centering probably played a role here. Kind of off both left to right and top to bottom. Looked to be pretty clean otherwise, but that centering is going to do you in. So certainly an understandable 9 on this Uxie. This is one that I needed, but still need, obviously, in the PSA 10 grade. I think I only have like 3 Level X's that I don't have in PSA 9 or higher at this point. So I'm working on getting those. I think I've set a goal for myself for the end of 2023 to be finished with this Level X set, and I think it's doable. Mint 9 on the Azelf Level X, Temple of Anger, first edition. Probably centering again did me in on this. Top two, well, centering looks pretty good now that I think about it. Maybe the tiniest little speck of edgeware at the bottom there. Yeah, that'll get you. All right, next up. Mint 9 on another special pack Dialga Level X. Oh, I can't really see much on this either. Yeah, pretty clean card there. All right, continuing on. There we go, Gem Mint 10 on the Azelf Level X from Temple of Anger. I think I needed this card. I think I did. I don't have my spreadsheet up. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I know out of this whole submission, I think there were like 7 or 8 cards that I needed for my collection that came back in 10. So that's really, really nice. So there is an Azelf 10. Here is a Haunch Crow, Mint 9. Needed this in a 10, still needed in a 10, but still really nice to get these cards in 9. 9s are excellent placeholders in my collection. If I have a card in a 9, you know, I'm not super worried about acquiring in a 10 immediately. You know, just like what I did with my English EX cards. I never sold the 9s, even when I was only going for 10s, just because I felt, you know, the difference between 9 and 10 is very small, as we have talked about many, many times. Here's a Mesprit Level X. I did already have this one in PSA 10, so working out a trade right now for this card with my good friend West from E4, so hopefully this will help me add another card that I need to my collection. So very, very nice there. Mesprit Level X, Gem Mint 10. Next up, Mint 9 on the Dialga from Shining Darkness. This is one that I need in my collection and still need, so sent off a couple in this submission, so maybe one of the later ones will hit a 10 for us, intent. All right, next up, check that out. Really happy with this Gardevoir Level X from Dawn Dash. Beautiful, beautiful card. Gem Mint 10. I think this card is pretty underrated. Gardevoir is a fan favorite Pokemon, and this Level X just looks so beautiful. The purple and green really mesh together super well. Love that kind of reddish background as well. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. This is also an extra. I already have a Gardevoir in my collection, so really happy to acquire another one of this. Maybe I could trade that for another Level X that I need or an EX that I need. Always open to doing those kind of trades. Next up, another Gem Mint 10 Level X, Cresselia Level X, beautiful Moonlit Pursuit. It's another duplicate, another card that I already have in a PSA 10. So open to sales, trades on this. I don't usually transact through YouTube. I'll list things on PWCC or eBay, so just keep an eye on my eBay if you're interested in any of these cards. If they pop up, they're for sale. If they don't, then they're not. There we go. There's the Gem Mint 10 Dialga Level X from Shining Darkness. Already had the Palkia in a 10, so really happy to acquire the Dialga. And yeah, another 10, another Level X checked off in the collection. We love to see. All right, continuing on here. Another Mint 9 on the Dialga. So we got 2 9s and 1 10. I think I did submit 3, and that's why I submit multiple copies of cards. You know, sometimes you submit 3 cards, you get 2 9s and that 1 10. So really happy with that. All right, next up, Mint 9 on the Palkia Level X from Shining Darkness. Thankfully, I do already have this in a 10. Maybe the centering did me in on this, left to right. Not really sure, but still, again, 9, very respectable on these cards. Mint 9 is nothing to turn your nose up at. Gem Mint 10 on the Electivire Level X from Secret of the Lakes. This is another one that I needed for the collection, so really happy to grab this in the PSA 10 grade. for all of these like set completion things, in Japanese, I don't distinguish between first edition and unlimited. For many sets, there really isn't a significant difference between first edition and unlimited price-wise. So, you know, it's, in a lot of cases, unlimited is usually rarer for some strange reason. That's true in a lot of like the black, white, and XY eras, interestingly enough. Next up, the promo Drapion Level X. I think this was this part of a visual book? Maybe. But I think I was expecting a 9 on this. I think this had just some small things here and there. But Mint 9 Drapion Level X. And yeah, I don't necessarily collect the promo Level X's. There's another Azelf Level X, PSA 10. Love to see that. So we've got 2 in this submission. Yeah, I don't collect the promo Level X, but still love to send them off. Beautiful Tangrowth Level X from Advent of Arceus, Gem Mint 10. This is another one that I needed in my collection, so really happy with this. I submitted it once before and it got a 9, but really happy with the 10 on this one. Beautiful. Next up, check that out. Luxray GL Level X Bonds to the End of Time, Unlimited Edition, PSA 10. Fantastic. I've been lucky with these Luxrays. I already have one in my collection. But the one I have in my collection is first edition. And this is kind of interesting because this card, this Unlimited Edition Luxray, only has 2, population 2 in PSA 10 and Unlimited. So that's very cool. So very happy with that. A unique card, low population. Next up, another card that I needed for my collection, Heatran Level X Stormfront First Edition Gem Mint 10. Just beautiful. So yeah, I'm really cracking out the Level X set. I think I'm over 75% of the way there in PSA 10 with all of the cards that I get back in this submission. So that is awesome. Mint 9 on the promo Empoleon. I think this came in a special pack. Empoleon Level X. I think I like the artwork of the set-based one better than the promo, but still a very nice card. Next up, Mint 9 Infernape Winter Challenge. Beautiful Level X card there. I thought there was something on this card. They could knock it down from the 10 to a 9. So probably a worthy 9 on this card, but again, I will check all these cards off camera just to determine if there are any that I think are like really, really strong and might be worthy of resubmission. But Mint 9 on the Rayquaza C Level X. I was hoping for a 10 on this to get a duplicate, as that would be a great trade or sale chip. But I think perhaps the centering on this, it is a little bit off. As you can see, left to right. But other than that, you know, a lot of these Level X cards came from a large purchase of mine that I made, and they were all in really good condition. So there we go. Another Gem Mint 10, this time on a first edition Luxray Bonds to the End of Time. Just beautiful. And yeah, I always love getting these in, these duplicates, as, you know, it just means another piece that I can trade, another piece that I can sell, use to fund more collection progress. Gem Mint 10 on the Dusknoir. This had bothered me for a while. I think I'd submitted several copies of this card and it never came back with the 10 grade. But now we have one, Gem Mint 10 Dusknoir from Stormfront. Super happy with this. Yeah, just another card that takes me to the next level in my collecting for Level X. And yeah, we're really on the home stretch for Level X, which is amazing. This collection goal has not taken too long for me, just a couple of years, really. Compared to my EX goal, which took me probably, I want to say, like 4 years. So probably about 2 to 3 is what the level X goal is going to take. Mint 9 on the Regigigas. Pretty nice there. Already have this in a 10. So nice to get one in a 9. Would love a 10, but we're not too broken up about getting that one back in a 9. Next up, Mint 9 on the Shaman from Galactic's Conquest. Still need this one in a 10. The Shamans have been a bit challenging for me. I think maybe centering again did me in on this one, but next up, another Hippowdon level X, bonds to the end of time, PSA 10. Did already see a PSA 10 Hippowdon, but now we got an extra. And again, love having extras. All right, next up. Check that out. Giratina Level X Galactic's Conquest, first edition, Gem Mint 10. This is incredible. I love this card. This is a duplicate. Probably not going to be selling or trading this card because I think it's ridiculously undervalued. You can probably buy this PSA 10 first appearance of Giratina Origin in the TCG Level X card, Japanese, ultra rare from 2008. That's 14 years ago, almost 15 years ago. I'd probably say this would be about the same price as a raw, ungraded Giratina Special Art, which is a little surprising to me that a card released a couple of months ago, raw, is the same price as a PSA 10 Giratina Level X from 15 years ago. So, just food for thought. Last but not least, Mint 9 on the Shaman from Stormfront. I think probably, again, centering did me in on this one. It's a little off top to bottom. Yeah, so. As I said earlier, Level X was really good to me. I have a ton of new cards for the collection here, which is super exciting. So, now into the home stretch. Only have a few black, white, and modern cards, but these came back really strong. You see, this card is interesting. So here we go. This is my PSA 9 Indigo Plateau Challenge Battle. This is an interesting 9. As we can see, there is what I would call significant amount of edge wear along this side of the card, this side of the card as well. Yeah, that's really obvious when you see it, that the edges of this card are not the best. Sometimes it can be a little hard to catch it on camera, but you can see there, the edges of this card are not the best, right? And this score is a 9. And then I look at some of the other 9s I got, like my 9s on, this Shaman, which may be a little bit off center, but beyond that, these edges, corners, clean all around. So when people say things like, oh, PSA is grading universally harsher now, which is, people have been saying this forever, oh, it's the, 6/8 certs are harsher, the 6/7 certs. Remember when the 4 certs were harsher? I've been saying the 4 certs were harsher, but now apparently the 6 certs are harsher than the 4 certs. I don't know, I can't keep it straight. But I don't think that PSA is grading harsher so much as there are examples of inconsistency, right? Even within the same submission, I get a lot of 9s that are, very, very minor issues. And they look a hell of a lot better than this 9. So, yeah, kind of surprising. Like, we look at my 8, right? The 8 that I got on the Latias, right? We really couldn't see much on the edges. Centering looked good. Maybe there was something else that I missed that I can't see. And that's always a possibility, right? PSA, they are the professionals. But when I see a card like this that I was expecting to get a 7 or an 8, I think an 8 would be a fair grade for this card. Yeah, it is kind of interesting. And I understand that there's a lot of variation within these grades. One 9 doesn't necessarily have to look the same as all the other 9s. But in this submission, it does kind of give you a little bit of pause when you see a 9 like that. All right, next up, Mint 9 on the Reshiram. This one was a justified 9. This has some edge wear as well. I think I was expecting a 9 on this because the edge wear, again, this is not all that much, right? And then the rest of the card's pretty clean. You know, so I think I see this and I'm like, yep, there's an issue. It's not a large issue. Beautiful, beautiful card. Just incredible stuff. So I look at that and I say, yep, that makes sense as a PSA 9 to me. And I have been graded for a long time. I sent off my first PSA submission in 2014. So I have a lot of experience with PSA. I am pretty familiar with everything. If you're really adventurous, you'll dig up that old PSA submission video back from when I was like 17 or something. Emolga from Shiny Collection, Mint 9. I was hoping for the 10 on this card. Again, not really sure what knocked it down. Can't really see any edge wear or anything on it, but you know, that's how things roll sometimes. Again, as I mentioned, you know, last 3 cards were all the same grade, but you could see pretty clear differences in the quality. So it just goes to show, buy the card, not the grade. Ask for pictures of the card. If you're a seller, you should post clear front and back scans, all that kind of stuff. Really, really happy about this. Shaman EX from Shiny Collection, first edition, Gem Mint 10. This is a needed card for my EX Full Art collection. I'm doing the same thing for Black White EX Full Arts that I am for the Level X's, set-based, collecting them all in PSA 10. So this Shaman was a wonderful addition to that collection. And here is another one, Thunderous EX Full Art from Thunder Knuckle, Gem Mint 10. Beautiful texture on this card. The Black White Full Arts are just incredible with texture. But this is one that I needed for my collection in PSA 10, and really happy that I was able to acquire it. Coming down the home stretch on Black White Full Arts as well. Still need several. I have a lot of them that I need to grade. I haven't yet cleaned out the kind of stack as I have with Level X's. I anticipate probably being around the same level soon as the Level X collection. Tornadus EX from Dark Rush. Usually what I do with these cards, with these sets, what I did for the EX era was I try to grade as many as I can myself. But once you get down into the kind of last, you know, 5, 6 cards, it really just makes sense to buy them outright instead of searching every day for the one card that you need out of the entire set, hoping to find it in mint condition, then waiting to grade it. You know, you might pay a little bit more, but to me it just makes sense to buy them once you get down to the last few. Here's a card that I'm really excited about, this Volcarona promo Dark Rush booster box. I love this artwork. I think it is really nice. This ended up being a pre-release promo in English. I've owned the pre-release promo for a while, and I just love this artwork. And I love black and white holos. I think they're really unique, especially in Japanese. The holo pattern is super cool, and you know, it's not as good as the Cosmos, I don't think. You know, but it's still pretty good, especially when you compare it to, you know, the XY Sun and Moon era holos that were just kind of flat and a little bit boring. Sword and Shield, it really wasn't, you know, I think it was similar to the black-white holo pattern, but instead going vertical, but in some ways it just isn't. You know, it just doesn't have the same excitement as black-white holo. But yeah, this promo, I love it. And this is population 4, I think, so it's very, very low pop. So, really excited about that. I have a lot of black-white holos and regular EXs that eventually at some point will get graded, but it's pretty challenging to justify submitting them given where the prices are and given how many other cards that I need to grade before I submit those. All right. Oh, that's beautiful. Umbreon Gold Star, Gem Mint 10. Never thought I'd say those words. Japanese Umbreon Gold Star, PSA 10. But here we are in 2022. I just love this card. It is so amazing. And really, really happy that I was able to get this in a PSA 10. I remember upon release, I paid $100 for I don't know if it was this one or I actually have two. Is this? Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Second, 2 PSA 10 Umbreon Gold Stars. I remember, yeah, on release paying $100 for one of these, and then the price went down a lot, and then the price went back up a lot. So this is just kind of exemplifies what I always say about, you know, new releases, Japanese cards, especially in the modern era. If you're comfortable with the prices, right? I looked at the price and I said, you know what? I think $100 is fair for a Japanese Umbreon Gold Star, even the promo version from the 25th anniversary pack, and I'll pay $100 for that. You know, I evaluated it not necessarily within the confines of the larger market, but just what I was comfortable paying. Comfortable paying $100, and sure, the price went down after that, but, you know, if I had waited, right, if I'd say, oh, the prices are going to go down, even if I thought $100 was a worthy, you know, price to pay, sure, I might have gotten, I think I paid maybe $50 for my other one, sure, I might have paid $50, but then if I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'll buy at $50, right, and I, you know, bought 2 or 3, and then the price pretty much immediately went up after that, and now it's over $100 for one of these cards, even just a year after release. So just a cautionary tale, especially with VMAX or V-Star Universe coming out right now. If you're comfortable paying the prices, don't wait just thinking that they're going to go down, right? Don't justify not paying, not buying the cards just because you think the price, well, they're going to be cheaper in the future. Last up, I got kind of disappointed with this. I got 2 9s on the Yveltal from Y Collection. I was really hoping at least one of these would come back with a 10. I thought they were pretty clean. So, might resubmit one of these. I love the Yveltal EX Full Art. Again, 9 is a beautiful grade, but very much hoping that at some point I can acquire one of those in a PSA 10. So this was an incredible submission. I'm so happy with this return. This did a lot for my EX Full Art collection, for my Level X collection, some awesome modern cards, and just some random stuff that is going to be great trade or sale bait. So thank you all very much for watching. I'm sure going to be putting out more videos, more PSA submissions, returns, more card opening stuff in the near future. It's been a little crazy for me. I'm still in school. And yeah, so I'm trying to do, you know, Pokemon YouTube around everything, and it can be a bit challenging. But thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stick around for more videos.